Live at 10.
Out, rolled down the hill and landed in the ditch. And everybody just went, holy crud.
We begin with developing news out of Carrington, North Dakota tonight, where employees of a plumbing company say that they couldn't believe their eyes as they were digging to put in a sewer and water line on 4th Street South around noon. That's when they came across human remains.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly has been in Carrington all day and has the latest now.
We were digging a sewer line in, starting at this manhole. We're going to go down to a house that's about almost half a block up. And about the third stick of sewer line we have in the ground, we started noticing bones coming out.
Robert Paulson is a plumber in Carrington. He was out working on a project, just like he always is, but then he noticed something very strange. He began to come across what looked like bones. Paulson says at first he didn't think much of what he was seeing. That is, until he saw a skull.
A couple of scoops later, a head rolled down the hill and landed in the ditch. And everybody just went, holy crud.
Paulson says they found the remains about 4 to 5 feet underground. He describes the bones as dark and undamaged.
Well, everybody was just in disbelief, looking for more bones, kind of looking around, and saw a couple more laying around. We figured we better call the police because who knows what happened here.
People living in Carrington say it's disturbing to think bones were dug up in the middle of town, and they want to know the story behind what happened. And so do police. That's why they're continuing to investigate. In Carrington, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
We just learned that the remains are in a grave. We just heard that from authorities. No foul play is suspected. We still don't know who the body is, so stick with Valley News Live for more details. A pilot walked away with injuries that are not life-threatening tonight, just west of Detroit Lakes. Authorities tell us the plane went down north of DL, and when they arrived, 76-year-old Thomas Klebke told them he lost power to his single-engine biplane and landed in a cornfield. The crash remains under investigation.
A family is grieving tonight as the search for their loved one comes to a sad end. Fernando Balboa has been missing for days as his family searched for him and prayed for his safe return. Balboa required medications every 4 hours. Investigators say at this time no foul play is suspected, though the investigation does await autopsies. Grand Forks police had been searching the area since his July 6th disappearance, with the body turning up in rural East Grand Forks, Minnesota.
We were aware of it, but at the time we don't know what we're responding to or whatever. So, upon investigating the scene and locating the deceased male, he was identified as Mr. Balboa, who had been missing from Grand Forks.
Investigators say if you have any information regarding this case, contact police or the Polk County Sheriff's Department. We have filed an open records request and are awaiting more information pending the autopsies and investigation.
A man who admitted kidnapping Jamie Kloss and killing her parents has been moved to a facility outside of Wisconsin. 22-year-old Jake Patterson is serving life without parole for the October deaths of James and Denise Kloss. State records show he was moved Monday, but not where. Authorities say his location will not be disclosed for his safety. Patterson held Jamie Kloss captive in a remote cabin for nearly 3 months before she escaped. Patterson pleaded guilty in March to 2 counts of intentional homicide and 1 count of kidnapping.
Efforts are underway right now to curb the recent surge in mosquitoes locally. Cass County vector control crews are out spraying. We want to show you a live look of a truck-mounted sprayer working in South Moorhead. Apparently we lost that live shot. Weather conditions were just what the doctor ordered, they say, with relatively light wind and mild temperatures.
And plans are to spray throughout the metro tonight until around midnight. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer is following that truck, and we will have more from her about the importance of tonight's spraying a little later.
All right, let's move on to the next story. It may look like marijuana, but industrial hemp with CBD is now legal to grow all across the country.
And as Max Grossfeld tells us, with the new opportunities come some big risks.
A new cash crop.
We want to make sure we have our highest, germination rates.
Has the Lob Farm family seeing green?
Something like this is a, extremely high value crop compared to what we usually raise.
For the first time, Clarence Laub can grow CBD hemp after several years of growing the cheaper grain plant.
It's exciting to watch grow, but it just looks like a lot of work.
Clarence's dad says this is no crop for old men.
I don't know whether he realizes it, but this crop has to come off. And it's all hand labor. I'm not I'm not going to be used to that.
I buy industrial hemp for grain by the pound. I buy this stuff by the seed.
At about $1 a seed, this hemp has to be treated with the utmost care. That means getting down on your hands and knees, digging a hole, and putting the plant into the ground by hand.
You guys can go for quite a while yet.
This is old school. Something that I don't want to do.
But hard work might just pay off. So when you plant this whole field, what's it going to be about worth?
Oh, the market's pretty out there, so anywhere from probably 20 to 60 to 80,000, depending on the yield.
So how's that compare to like corn?
$400 or $500 an acre.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Clarence says his fields still turn heads,
Sometimes you get a lot of the giggle factor in it.
but he says the crop, both CBD and grain, could be a big money-making addition to many farmers' fields. Near Elgin, I'm Max Grossfeld.
Laub says it's a niche market, so farmers should have agreements with processors ready to go before they plant.
We are 11 months away from the June primaries, but North Dakota is unpacking millions of dollars of new equipment that will be used at that time. Secretary of State Al Jagger says voters will not notice anything different at the ballot box. The new machines are not connected to the internet, addressing security concerns about tampering. But election officials say they are efficient and can count about 4,000 ballots an hour.
We have a construction update for you in North Fargo. Crews have opened up the 10th Street North underpass to a single lane. The second driving lane there will reopen later in the week as crews install permanent pavement road markings. University Drive will remain a single lane as one-way southbound traffic is restored to 2 lanes by the end of the week. Also at that time, all head-to-head detour traffic on University Drive between the 7th Avenue and 4th Avenue North intersections will be gone in downtown Fargo.
50 years ago this week, we landed on the moon. That huge leap came with incredible advances in technology created by NASA. Since then, much of that technology is turned up in products on Earth.
So what everyday things do we have because of NASA? Good question. Here's Heather Brown.
Because of the GPS on my phone, you turn here, shock absorbers on the bridges, and scratch-resistant sunglass lenses, you could easily say NASA helped us get to the memory foam at Becker Furniture World.
This is a lot better than what I had to sleep on in college.
And the reflective blanket at the Bell Museum.
This is one of NASA's best inventions.
Holly Menninger loves bringing science to the people.
My favorite invention from NASA has to be the Dust Buster.
The cordless Dust Buster.
It was a NASA partnership with Black & Decker to find a cordless tool that didn't use much power.
They needed a piece of equipment for sucking up bits of soil and dust and rocks from the moon.
She showed us some items NASA has loaned to the museum. Here's a breathing machine used by firefighters.
This particular piece of equipment was co-developed by NASA. It was inspired by a spacesuit.
And wireless microphone for astronauts to talk to mission control.
Technologies have gotten lighter and smaller because you had to pack as much as you could in on the various space vehicles.
You can't make mistakes up there.
It's pretty amazing, honestly.
They would have to be inventing something in order for them to continue to be financed.
NASA brings these technologies to us
by encouraging businesses, entrepreneurs, and individuals to use NASA technologies
to develop new ideas and products. They're called spin-offs. NASA showcases about 2,000 of them on its website, like
the world's first endoscope used in brain surgery,
water filtration systems in your home, next-generation jet engines, and image sensors in your cell phone camera.
The same technology they use to track heat-seeking missiles, they use it for invisible braces like these.
Right. You remember Tang?
Mm-hmm. The spaceman and Earth family.
They didn't invent Tang.
Heather Brown.
But they sometimes get credit for
it. Yes,
it.
they do get credit. Yeah.
WCCO 4 News.
John Glenn did drink Tang while in orbit in 1962, but it was created by General Foods 5 years earlier.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Oh, we have a fair amount of clouds showing up on our Valley Sky Cam as we look off to the east-southeast towards the full moon. Much of the Earth saw a partial lunar eclipse today, and we're not going to see that. First of all, we have clouds. Second of all, not too visible here in North America. But it's interesting, this falls on that 50th anniversary. Here is a look at what we have going on outside. It's been a warm day, and we continue to be on the mild side, 76 in the 10 o'clock hour, light easterly wind. And 64-degree dew point temperature means it remains a little on the muggy side out there. We have 73 in Grand Forks and Thief River Falls, a cooler 70-degree reading right now in Jamestown. Off to the east, still near 70 for many, and 75 in Fergus Falls. And here is a peek at the radar. Right now, we're very quiet for most areas in Kidder County here, and heading into Stutsman County, a few showers, but these have been well below severe criteria. A little bit of lightning with those crossing into the Medina area at this time. The more robust storms to the south, taking you in a little closer to Steele County, Kidder County. From Steele out towards Medina is where we have this decreasing storm working its way eastward. So some showers have passed over the Jamestown area in the last half hour. And the cloud top heights with these storms here on the northern boundary of all of our stormy activity, very low, on the order of 30,000 feet. But when we look at the big picture, down in South Dakota, many of these storms blossoming upwards of 45 to 55,000 feet, one near Mobridge as well. So most of the energy in the atmosphere well out to the west as we head to bed tonight, with numerous severe thunderstorm watches in effect to the south. South is where we're going to have the most energy, and as we go through the overnight hours, some of this energy will work its way into our western counties, but not until we get into that 2 o'clock in the morning time frame and beyond. Most of the stout stuff will be down to the south, and as we go through the overnight, there will be the risk of gusty straight line winds and maybe even some hail with these. But our latest model run we're showing you just now has them timing through the southern and central Red River Valley as we go towards daybreak. Then, the first half of our day, these showers and storms diminish in intensity and push northward, giving us a break in the midday hours. Many in the south will warm through the 70s to near 80 for highs. We'll stay in the 70s up north and out to the east thanks to the prolonged rainfall there. And then this heat of the day will fuel a few scattered thunderstorms in our afternoon, and not expected to be severe at this point. We'll keep you up to date. So we're going to have a couple of rounds of weather potential. First thing in the pre-dawn hours and early morning here in Fargo. I believe we'll have a break, so not thunder chances all day long. And then again in the late afternoon, a spotty chance at a shower. Hometown forecast shows temperatures cooler up to the north in the 70s, and the best chance at 80-degree readings will be in our southern valley. A nice photo sent here from Little Cormorant Lake. What a beauty. Dennis, thanks for taking the time to upload that. Now, as we go towards late week, we'll have one more very hot day. That happens on Thursday. Still a chance of a few storms here and there. On Friday and Saturday, most of us stay quiet as we enter the weekend on a cooler note. But by Sunday, a cold front moves through, and that'll bring a chance for some scattered showers if you're heading to the air show. So keep that in mind. Still not bad all day, just a chance for a few showers.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Up next on Valley News Live 10 at 10, more kids are being bullied, but it's not so much on the playgrounds anymore, where more kids are being targeted and which gender sees it the most.